Okay. Hello, you guys. We're back.
Welcome back to Shelf Life. I'm Val.
I'm Leah.
And if you're wondering, have you guys changed clothes in the last week? We have. We're just double recording today.
We had technical difficulties with the camera, but we're back. Anyways.
Leah looks so chill. I look so awkward. What is going on?
I think you need a different pillow
Do you
to
know
lay
how
on.
to lay on a couch? Girl.
She
There,
needs
wait, this is
lessons.
better.
Yeah.
Is
yeah,
it?
I think so. Alrighty, you guys. Today we are talking about The Housemaid.
By Freida McFadden.
Yeah. Do we have a question that we want to ask? Or
Okay, what do you think one of the worst jobs would be? Because I think it's being a housemaid. One of the worst jobs ever. Like, I would not want to be a housemaid. Cleaning up everyone else's crap all the time. Actually, I feel like if you lived with people who were, like, respectful, it would be okay.
Yeah, living with Nina would suck. Like, going through what Millie did would suck. However, I think it isn't all bad. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. Also, I feel like with her, she kind of took on the role of nanny as well. So it was kind of like doing both. But honestly, I think being a nanny and, like, taking care of somebody else's kids wouldn't be awful. My worst job would have to be a plumber. Okay? You mentioned picking up everybody's shit. Just think about...
Literally.
Yeah, actually. No hate to all the plumbers out there. Okay, somebody's got to do it.
They get compensated very well.
Yes, they
You also
do.
go into plumbing knowing that you're going to be dealing with shit.
Oh, yeah. But I don't think I could do that. The smell. Ugh.
Yeah. Honestly, anything manual labor, I'm not good out for it. Ooh, no landscaping, low key.
Really?
I hate cutting the lawn. I don't like that I can't see. I hate it, Lee. I hate it.
Okay, that's hilarious that you say that because when I was job searching over the summer and I couldn't find anything, I was actually giving landscaping a thought.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
Like,
God.
just sitting on a lawnmower and driving around somebody's yard and cutting the grass and getting paid for that and listening to music or whatever and getting a suntan. Okay, being in the sun and whatever. I don't know. I don't think it'd be awful.
I suppose. Maybe not. I
But-
hate cutting the lawn. I hate anything in the outdoors for long periods of time if I don't have to be.
I think weeding a garden or weeding, that would suck.
Weeding a garden is rough. I love my grandma and my mom. My mom's probably listening to this. But I swear, every year my grandma would want to plant a garden and she would be like, oh, we're going to make it smaller this year. And it's like half an acre. It's the world's biggest garden you've ever seen. And granted, I only went over a couple times a summer to help out. It's not like I was there regularly. But every time I did it, I'm like, man, this isn't even the least bit enjoyable. Maybe if it was like one of those box gardens, like the size of this coffee table
Yes.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that wouldn't be so bad.
Half an acre, though.
No, it's like, I'm not cut out for it. I'm too much of a wuss. I can't.
Well, I don't blame you there. Being on my hands and knees and pulling weeds all day, it doesn't sound great.
Mad props to my grandma though, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that is hard work. And not for me, but wow.
Yeah. This is a little tidbit of information about my high school life. But for a couple months, I worked at a tree farm, actually. That's related to landscaping, I feel like.
Like an orchard? Or like, what do you mean tree farm? Because
No,
I'm
it
also
was
thinking
like-
Christmas tree farm.
It was little saplings. Like, they basically grew saplings and turned them into, like, larger trees and sold that.
Gosh,
Yeah.
wait, that's so cool.
So I worked in, like, a greenhouse and then also in, like, the fields. And that sounds so bad. I worked in the fields. It wasn't that bad. Anyways, yeah. I can't tell if you're laughing. I could hear no noises.
Don't worry, there was laughter. It was just silent. I can't tell. Oh my god.
But yeah, that was for like a summer. I don't think it was even in the summer. It was for an internship type of thing.
Whose child is running laps? Do you hear that?
Yeah, we have children
no,
that live
it's
next to us, and I think they actually do live above this. It's like we share a wall with them, so they're definitely
Gotcha.
like
They're right
over
around
there.
here somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, anyways, landscaping work,
It's
so.
difficult. It's
But
difficult.
my final answer is plumbing. I would not do that
Yeah.
ever.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of hard, really hard, awful jobs, this week we read The Housemaid, which honestly we had great timing with this. We kind of planned it a little bit, but it just also happened to work out really well because this just came out as a movie in theaters. So
Yes.
if you don't want to read the book, go watch the movie. I mean, I recommend both, but we haven't seen the movie yet, but we are going to be watching it and very excited.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to hit us with a summary?
Yeah. Okay, so essentially, The Housemaid is about. So we have a couple main characters. Millie is the actual housemaid, Nina is the wife, Andrew is the husband, and Cecilia is the daughter, is Millie's daughter.
No, Nina's
sorry,
daughter.
sorry, yes, Nina's daughter. And then Enzo is like their landscaper, gardener, whatever.
I didn't intentionally say landscaping thinking about that, actually.
That's crazy. I love that connection.
I just don't like landscaping.
But yeah, so basically, Millie is an ex-con. She had went to jail for something that we don't know of until like the very end. But she is having trouble finding a job, and she ends up deciding that she'll give. She found this job to be a housemaid, and she decided it wouldn't be that bad. So she goes to an interview with Millie. Oh my God, with Nina, the wife, and she tells her like what her roles would be around the house. She would end up sleeping in like this attic area. She would have to take care of Cecilia as well, and all of these different things, kind of just to give her an overview of the job. And then she ends up getting hired. So yeah, she realizes that she has her work cut out for her, that Nina is quite crazy, and yeah, then things just start happening. I don't know if I can say a whole lot else.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
that's a good summary.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were
Okay.
your thoughts on the book?
I really, really liked this one. I think I'm going to check my Goodreads bio while I talk about this, but it was a very fast-paced thriller. About halfway through the book, there's basically, this book is told in parts. There's part 1, part 2, and then part 3 is kind of a mix of both perspectives, but part 1 is Millie's, part 2 is Nina's. So at the end of part 1, I was like, well, what the fuck? What's the other half of the book gonna be? And I was really confused because the plot line kind of gets wrapped up, but then it doesn't.
It gets unwrapped.
It does, really. Okay, I gave it a 5-star reading. And yeah. I said that I was basically, my interest was piqued all the way to the end. And that is so truthful because it really is so captivating. But really liked it. How would you like it, Val?
I also loved it. I know I've been vocal about not loving thrillers. However, this one, honestly, I loved it. I had to give it a 4 because my rating system is like a 5 is like a book that like changed my life, basically. I had a really hard time not giving this one a 5 though.
Really?
Yeah, if I could give it a 4.5, I would.
Okay.
But I don't know, I loved it. I just, yeah, I don't know. It was so good. It was so captivating. And yeah, it really truly was just like action right from the get-go. And I even remember sending Leah a snap of basically the exact same thing that she said, where I'm like, how am I halfway done and it feels wrapped up? Like,
Yes.
How
Yeah.
is there more that's going to happen? And it just like, it's great, you guys.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic book.
I am so excited to watch the movie and to make comparisons because I've been hearing a little bit about it, but I just want to know what they did differently. Yeah, it's so great. Yeah.
Alrighty, it's
Ready to get
spoiler
into
time.
spoilers?
We're jumping right in.
You have been warned.
So, picking back up where Leah left off, A couple other things about Millie is she did have a previous job that she had worked right after she got out of jail. However, she was fired from that. We don't know why. We learn more later, but we don't know why. She also, because she was fired, doesn't have enough money to pay for her apartment, so she lives out of her car. All of this just explains why she's so desperate to keep this job, despite Nina treating her terribly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interview goes well. She moves in, but Millie tries a lot to, like, keep herself kind of underneath Nina. Like, she doesn't want to dress as nice as her. Like, she doesn't put any effort into, like, her appearance because she doesn't want to make Nina feel, like, threatened at all. Mainly because Nina's husband, Andrew, is super rich and very hot. So she's like, I'm not trying to make this girl think I'm trying to, like, catch her husband or anything. So, you know, whatever. But Millie starts working for them. She tries very hard to do her job well. She cooks and cleans as best she can, but Nina is very particular about things and throws a fit if she thinks it's not done to the way that she wants it to be done. She also lies a lot to get Millie in trouble, basically. So one of the, like, first nights that Millie was there, she cleaned the whole kitchen, and the next day she comes out and Nina had thrown, like, all of the dishes on the floor, like, went through the fridges, like, ransacking things because she can't find her PTO notes for this meeting that she has to go to, and she thinks that Millie threw them away, and she's freaking out and, like, blames Millie for it.
On that note, Nina, I believe, had told Millie that Cecilia was allergic to peanut butter, I thought.
Cece told her that she was, like, yeah, Millie tries to make Cece a snack, and Cece was like, no, I'm allergic to peanut butter.
Yeah.
And
turns out that's not correct. Yeah, there was just a lot of, like, back and forth nature of this job and what Millie has to go through. And there was a day where Nina told Millie that she needed to pick up Cecilia from school, but she gave her the wrong address or, like, the wrong school. So Millie ends up figuring out where the right school is, and she gets to Cecilia and she says, no, I have karate practice. I always have karate practice. And one of Nina's friends ends up giving her a call, and she tells Nina, like, Millie is here to pick her up, and Nina claims that she never told her to even come pick her up. So, yeah, Millie is just left really confused. She's like, this woman is crazy. Like, she needs to get her shit together. And she also, like, her friends come over one day, and they're having, like, this type of, like, tea party almost. And Nina treats Millie very poorly. Like, she's like a servant. Like, she just doesn't have any respect for her in front of other people. Honestly, in general, like, she's just very mean to her. But then when Nina is, like, inside the house or something, and Millie is outside for some reason, I can't remember what she's doing. I think she might be bringing
she's,
out
like, handing them, like, the hors d'oeuvres
Okay.
and whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she hears her friends, like Nina's friends, talking about her, and like, in hush hush, you know. So I think Millie figures out that Nina had went to the psych facility, right?
Yeah, so in that conversation, she learns that Nina had spent time in, like, a psychiatric hospital because she had, she learns more about this in a different conversation with somebody else, but she basically learns that Nina had tried to drown Cece when she was a baby in the bathtub, and then also tried to kill herself. So she spent time in, like, a psychiatric hospital because of that. So she's like, oh, this girl, like, is actually, like, clinically insane. Like, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the story goes on. Nina continues to do wild shit, and Millie is just putting up with it. You know, she doesn't want to leave the job because this is the first job she's had in a while that she can keep.
And she, like, physically can't go anywhere else. She doesn't have a place to live and doesn't have enough money. So she's stuck.
Yes. Yeah. She's definitely feeling trapped.
Cece is, like, kind of a brat, honestly. She's very entitled. She also is like always like dressed to the nines. Like she always is in like these frilly dresses, even though I don't know how old she is, like maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah,
Something like that.
I think so.
So she's still very much like a kid and is going to school and like playing and all that stuff, but she's always in like these super frilly dresses. Nina is also usually like all dressed in white, like looks, tries to like keep up her appearance a little bit. She definitely like looks like she's letting herself go though. She doesn't do her hair anymore and eats a lot of like junk food and whatever. Which is something that a lot of like the other wives point out. Yes. Another character that we haven't really talked a lot about is the landscaper Enzo. He is an immigrant from Italy, I think.
Maybe I can't remember.
He speaks Italian. I don't know if he came from Italy. But he is their gardener, and he doesn't speak any English, like speaks very, very little, but he spends a lot of time at their house, like gardening and whatever. Nina likes him and keeps him around. Andrew doesn't.
Yes.
Over this time, Millie and Andrew like really get along well because Nina is, acting crazy, but Andrew kind of like comes in like behind her and is like, oh, like it's sorry about that, like kind of makes amends. So him and Millie get really close to each other. So
basically Nina had told Millie to book these play tickets for this like really nice play that Andrew likes, I believe, for I think it was just for a nice date night or something.
They did it because Andrew and Nina were also trying to have a baby because Cece wasn't Andrew's biological kid. She had the kid from before they got married. So they wanted to have a baby, but they found out that Nina was infertile and couldn't have a baby. Okay. So they bought the tickets as like a kind of like a reconnect.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, so Nina says this specific weekend, and Millie ends up buying the tickets, and then that weekend rolls around, and Nina is like, no, I did not tell you to do this weekend. This weekend I have to take Cece to summer camp or wherever, so I'm going to be gone, like I told you the next weekend or whatever. And so Nina ends up leaving to take Cece to this summer camp, which is hours away, and she's going to be gone for a couple days. And Andrew basically says, like, well, we shouldn't let the tickets go to waste. We could just go, like, with the two of us. So they end up going to this play, and they go out to this really nice dinner, and then they get drunk, and then they go back to the hotel room, and they end up having sex. And yeah. Then turns out Nina was actually tracking Millie with the phone that she had given her. So she knew that Andrew and Millie went to this play and like went to the hotel room afterwards and whatever. And she just kind of assumed that they had hooked up. But yeah. So then shortly after that, Andrew and Nina have a big fight. And we can't remember what exactly sparked it.
We tried so hard to remember, and Google can't even help us.
No.
I cannot remember.
But basically, they end up getting into this really big fight. And doesn't Millie, like, run in there because she hears, like, something crash to the ground or something? Or am I wrong about that?
That definitely happened. I don't remember if that was the fight that they were talking about.
Okay.
They did have 1 or 2 fights previously where it's the same thing, like Millie overheard them fighting and like Nina got very violent sort of thing. I don't know if that was this time.
Okay. Well, basically, Andrew tells her that he wants a divorce and tells Nina that she needs to leave. So Nina leaves the house for like a couple days, I guess. And
him and Millie are like, we're gonna start our lives together. So
yeah.
Also, this is just my opinion, but if you cheat on someone with someone's husband, basically, and then you're like, oh, we're gonna start our lives together, and you're having sex the night that they decide to have a divorce.
That's wild.
That's insane. That's crazy.
In the same house, too.
Oh my gosh.
In the same bed.
Like, why do you think he's loyal to you? What? Yeah. Like, that's crazy.
It's giving parallels to Verity.
I was literally going to say the same thing. This book reminded me so much of Verity.
Yeah, it really did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But basically, they end up, they go up to the attic where Millie has been sleeping, and they have sex again on the cot. And then, they fall asleep. Millie wakes up, and she's locked in the room. And she's like, what the fuck?
So from here, it cuts to part 2, and this is from Nina's perspective. And she starts talking about how her and Andrew met. She was, she just given birth. She basically got pregnant while she was in grad school with like a one-night stand, and had to drop out and just pick up this like secretary job basically to pay the bills. And in a meeting, she walked into a meeting and had really needed to pump, but her breast milk leaked before she had a chance to, and her boss basically like humiliated her. Andrew, who was like her boss's boss or something, checked on her and was like, are you okay? Just wanted to whatever. So he is just this super nice guy. They end up falling in love and they get married. 3 months after they get married, things are going super well. Andrew's a super great, understanding guy. She really loves him, whatever. He has a weird relationship with his mom, but she's not too bothered by that. 3 months after that, he walks in right after Nina had put Cece to bed, and he's like, hey, can you help me grab some paperwork from upstairs in the attic? Which was a place that she had never been before because the house is massive, and just she'd never felt the need to go up there. So they go up there, and she turns around, and he locks her in the room. She's like, what in the world is going on? He leaves her up there, basically doesn't really explain anything, and comes back to say, hey, you haven't been taking care of yourself. I noticed that you missed your last hair appointment and your roots are really starting to show. And if you're going to be my wife, you need to take care of yourself, and you need to understand that having hair is a privilege, and you need to do a better job of actually upkeeping yourself. So he tells her that he's going to leave her locked in there until she plucks 100 hairs out of her head, slides it in an envelope, and slides it under the door. In this room, there is there's one window, but it's painted shut. There's no way to get out. There's no lock on the inside. There's a bucket for her to pee in, and there are 3 water bottles, and that's it. So she is, basically going crazy, and he's making her redo it because he said that she was missing a hair and whatever. So he's a really terrible, awful husband. And
basically he's an asshole, and eventually he lets her out and says that she just needs to be better about taking care of herself, and there's consequences. And she realizes that he's fucking crazy. But he threatens Cecilia as well if she doesn't cooperate, So she ends up waking up after that, and she's drugged, and she hears the bathtub going, and she sees that Cece, her baby, is in the bathtub going to drown, and Andrew ends up calling the cops and basically says that Nina tried to kill herself and Cecilia in the bathtub. So they send her to the psych ward, and she spends 8 months there, and they basically convince her that Andrew locking her in the attic didn't happen, and that she was envisioning that, I guess. They tell her she's going crazy. And Andrew tells all of her friends that she's going crazy, and that they can't, whatever she tells them is not the truth. Kind of completely takes away any chance that she has to tell anybody else. So she has no hope left.
And after leaving the psych hospital, she herself is also fully convinced that she made it up and that she actually is crazy, because that's what she's been told for months and months and months. And even while she was in the hospital, Andrew he would bring her muffins and take care of her and all of that good stuff. So she also was fully convinced. So a couple months after getting let out of the hospital, she's still going to therapy and stuff, and her therapist is like, I really think that you should revisit the attic just to prove to yourself that it's like a safe place and that it didn't really happen. So she tells Andrew this, and they go up to the attic, and he locks her in there again.
Yep.
This time it was over the lights because she was leaving lights on. So he like boarded up the window so it was super dark. Yeah. And then he replaced the light bulb so that if she turned the lights on, it was super, super bright, like she couldn't even see. So she had to pick between like darkness or super, super bright to learn that light is a privilege.
Yeah. I can't remember how she got out of that one, but basically he always had like crazy things that she needed to do to actually get out of there. And he was very strict on it, like Val mentioned with the hairs. She had 99 for the first time and he made her redo it all. So if she doesn't do exactly as he says, he will not budge. Yeah. And after he like lets her out, he just continues to act like the perfect husband and that nothing happened. So she's like, what the fuck is going on? But this goes on for literally 7 years, and she ends up in the attic at least like once a month if something goes wrong. Honestly, like he finds the craziest reasons to throw her in there. Yeah, and she ends up with this gardener guy, Enzo. She ends up confiding in him one day, because I don't know if he sees her in the window.
They were just talking one day, and because she can't confide in anyone else because Andrew's like has told everybody that she's crazy.
Yeah.
He was working one day and she was out there and just told him everything because she wanted someone to talk to.
Okay.
He does see her in the window, but not till later.
Okay.
Because she thinks that he can't understand English, so she tells him everything.
Yes. And we also learned that her sister was killed because of domestic abuse as well. So
His sister.
What?
His sister.
Enzo's sister?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's okay. No, that's okay.
Okay. So anyways, Enzo knows, and Enzo realizes that Andrew's a bad man. And time goes on, and Enzo and Nina are trying to come up with a plan to get Nina out of there. And
Enzo ends up seeing that Nina's locked in the upstairs attic, and he tries to break her out, but then she's like, no, you can't do that, otherwise I'll get in trouble.
Yes.
So then Enzo confides in Nina. They end up like meeting somewhere and having a conversation. He's like, my sister was killed due to domestic abuse.
Okay.
Like, I'll help you. So then, sorry.
Yes. No, you're good. So they're coming up with this plan. Nina starts putting away like extra money to get like passports and things like that. And basically like they're about to initiate this plan. And Andrew finds one of the boxes. And he's like, nope, you're not getting away with that. And locks her in the attic again. Whatever. He tells her that she cannot leave. And that's when she realizes that she needs to find somebody else to take her place. So that's when she decides to hire Millie. And Nina is aware of Millie's background, being an ex-con and why she was in there. So we learn that when Millie was in college, she snuck out with one of her friends to this boys-only college type of thing, and she walked into one of the rooms and her friend was being raped. And Millie ended up killing the guy with a paperweight to save her friend. And obviously it was an unintentional murder, but she still had to go to jail for it. So when Nina hired her, she was expecting Millie to kill her husband for her. So yeah, Nina had an ulterior motive this entire time. Yeah.
Millie had also been in trouble for a couple of other things, like when she was in school. The reason why she was at that school to begin with was because she got sent to like a boarding school, basically, is where she was. But then we also learned that she was fired from her old job because she like hit a coworker because he kept like grabbing her ass and stuff like that, and like kind of sexually assaulting her.
Yeah.
And so yeah, she kind of has a past with this thing. So this is all like Nina knows this all.
Yes.
Which is why she's like, Millie will literally be perfect for this. So
yes. Yeah, so basically Millie fast forward, while all this is being told through Nina's perspective, Millie is realizing that Andrew is crazy herself, because he keeps putting her in the attic and locking her in there. Actually, did it only happen the once?
Yeah, so
Okay.
after we learn basically about Nina's perspective, and then she's been orchestrating this entire thing, flashes back to Millie's perspective, and
When she's in the
Andrew,
room.
yeah, so she's
Okay.
in the attic,
Okay.
and Andrew is like, I've locked you in here because you were looking at some of my books on the bookshelf and you didn't put them away. So you have to lay on the floor and put these textbooks on your stomach and let them sit there for 3 hours so that you understand the weight of your consequences and whatever.
Yeah.
So she, once again, is like, I'm not going to do that. That's crazy, whatever. Ends up doing it because she wants to get out of there.
Yes.
And is basically, discovering all of these things that we just learned from Nina's perspective. So she finds all the water bottles in there and, like, the bucket to pee in. And
There's also cameras. He can see.
there's also cameras!
Yes, he can see what they're doing in the room, and that's how he knows whether or not they're actually doing what they're supposed to. Yeah, so he watches them on the cameras. Yeah. And in that bucket to pee, there's pepper spray left from Nina. So Millie ends up, like, grabbing that without Andrew seeing somehow. And after she like puts those textbooks on her stomach for 3 hours,
And she does it twice because he was like, you took it off a minute too early.
yeah, he's a fucking asshole. But yeah, so after she, like, finishes all that, Andrew goes to let her out, and she sprays him with the pepper spray and ends up locking him in the room as well.
And she also snatches his phone quick.
Yes.
And then turns off, like, the lock on his phone so that she can watch him, and then she locks him in the attic.
Yes, the
tables
roles
are turned.
reversed. Yes. Then she starts toying with him and tells him that he needs to do the same thing and to put the books on his stomach, and she keeps telling him to, like, lower it and basically put it over
His balls.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's, like, complaining like a little bitch because it hurts. But she won't let up on him. She says that he needs to do it for the full 3 hours. And oh shit. Okay, for 5 hours, I guess. And then after that, she's still not done with him. She tells him that he needs to pull out his teeth with pliers. So he pulls his teeth out, and basically she just lets him sit in there. And he ends up dehydrating and dying in the attic. And meanwhile, while this is happening, Nina and Enzo are together, and Enzo tells Nina that she needs to go back to the house because Millie hasn't left in a few days. So Nina goes back to find that Andrew is dead in the attic, and she tells Millie that she'll take the blame for it, and, like, she's okay being sent back to the psych ward, like, she'll deal with the consequences. So the cops show up, and the officer on duty, it was his daughter was actually Andrew's previous fiance, who basically disappeared without a trace, and the cop never knew what happened to her. And he basically just bats an eye and doesn't actually release all of the details of Andrew's death. And he says that he'll just put in, like, dehydration, and yeah, they'll never speak of it.
He wants to protect Nina because he doesn't, like, he completely lost contact with his daughter. So he's
Yes.
like, I know that you killed him, and I'm gonna just let it go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then it kind of flashes forward to the funeral, and at the funeral, Nina, like, sees Andrew's parents. Like, they come in, and she's talking with his dad, whatever, and his dad walks away, and then his mom, who had been, like, in and out throughout the book and was, like, very much, she always criticized them for, like, not being perfect and all this type of stuff. She basically admits that when she knows somebody at the cop station, and she knows all of the details about what happened to Andrew. So she knows that, Nina killed Andrew, even though it obviously wasn't Nina, but that's what she thinks. She ends up telling her, she's like, used to pluck out Andrew's teeth when he wasn't taking care of them to teach him that like having teeth is like a privilege and whatever. And she's like, I heard that you flipped the script on him and that you did that to him, and she knows all of this and is fine with all of this. So now it kind of makes sense of why Andrew is
crazy
the way that he is.
Yeah. And it ends with Nina tells Millie that she has another woman who would hire her. And Millie ends up going to this other woman's house and sees a bruise on the woman's arm, or basically just on her. And the woman is like, will you accept this job? Like, very subtly implying that she needs Millie to kill her husband too. And she agrees, so that's how the book ends. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Millie becomes a husband killer.
She does.
Yeah. And there's also a second and third book, and Val and I were talking about how we've heard things about how it's not as good as the first. I got the second book now, so I'm going to read it soon and see, but...
Tough first book to beat, but...
Really, for real. But yeah, what were your thoughts overall, Val?
Overall, I really enjoyed this book. Like I said, I loved it. I think that Millie's character is such... Okay, first of all, my cat's name is Millie, so I was having a really, really hard time with that. Millie's character, though, is so interesting to me because as I'm reading this and like, okay, she escapes the attic and now she can like go fight against whatever. She can fight against Andrew. In my head, I'm like, oh, get out, lock the doors, and leave. Go call the cops.
Yeah.
No. She goes downstairs. She, like, makes herself a sandwich. She's, like, watching TV. Like, she takes over the torturing position, which I'm like, this is insane. Yeah. That's why at the very beginning I was like, if you could torture someone, how would you do it? Because I'm just like, this is crazy to me.
Yeah.
If I were in her position, that would never cross my mind. And then it was really weird because as soon as Nina came up, it kind of like all hit Millie about what she had done.
Yeah.
And was like, oh my God, like I did actually just kill this guy.
Yeah.
Which is also once again insane because she's on parole from killing someone. So I'm like, why are you torturing him?
And she was so calm about it.
I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. And I get from her perspective, like, he has money. He can, he probably wouldn't get in trouble for it. But also, like, girl, you don't need what? Like, what? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Thought that was super interesting. I also think that the mother-son dynamic is such an interesting one. I would love if one of the sequels was like a prequel.
Yeah.
To learn more about the mom. Because I love a villain's origin story. Like, I love hearing about that. So.
Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book. Same with the mother-son dynamic. That was nuts. Because you don't really... Like, yeah, we hear about the mom saying that her son isn't perfect and all of that throughout the book, but we never hear anything about her torturing her son until the very end. And I think it's nuts that she would just be okay with letting her son die. Like, what?
Right?
Yeah, but clearly that is the reason why the son is fucking crazy. And I just think it's insane that he does the exact same thing that his mother did. Yeah.
Also so scary. I do feel like this book does I'm not going to say does a good job. It does an interesting job of like showing just how tricky like domestic violence can be. Obviously this is like an extremist version of domestic violence, and like a lot of people won't go through something to this extent, but it's like, as you're reading it, you're like, well, why won't Nina just leave?
Yeah.
And it's like there are so many things that are being held over her head, like her child, her life, the fact that Andrew has so much money, the fact that he can send her to like a mental hospital like basically at any point. Like, he has so much control over her life. And I do feel like this book, like rereading it, does like re-put into perspective how difficult domestic violence cases can be for people in real life who are like experiencing that. Like,
Yes.
I think there's obviously, sorry, I'm taking such a deep route on this for whatever reason, but like there is such a stigma around people like not leaving. Because it's like, well, if they're treating you poorly, then why don't you just leave? And it's like, that's
it's
not
not that
always the
easy.
case. Like,
Yeah.
there is so much involved.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I don't know, just a different perspective of that. I don't want to say it's a good portrayal of it, because I don't think that this is realistic. Well, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. I feel like it's great at encapsulating how dark things can actually be, and you would have no idea. Like, you have no idea what another person is going through, because all of the friends, like all of Nina's friends, thought that she was crazy and didn't realize that this was what was happening to her. So it just goes to prove that, like, nobody really knows what you're going through. Like, if you're in that type of situation, most of the time you just feel so alone because you can't tell anybody. Yeah. Yeah.
Phenomenal book.
It was
We're
really
gonna
good.
go watch the movie.
Yes.
Maybe we should make a reel with our thoughts on the movie.
We should.
We'll make a reel with our thoughts on the movie.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Yes, stay
But
tuned.
next week, or I guess in 2 weeks, we will be talking about Tuesdays with Maury. Yeah, I'm really excited for that one because I really like that book.
Too. I
Yes.
am very excited.
Yes.
Ready to sob my eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read it. I've seen the movie, but I'm going to be reading it. So.
Yeah, it's a really sad book. But yeah. So anyways, take care, you guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Like, follow, subscribe, all the things.
All the things. I was just going to go, bye. I'm like, oh, we're not even done yet.
But now we're done. So,
Bye.
bye.